Kamara frowned and asked what Eugene meant by that. Eugene calmly repeated his terms. He and his mercenaries would be paid a total of 100 silver coins, plus half of the dungeon byproducts, excluding the mana crystals. Kamara leaned back in his chair. It's not a bad offer, he admitted. In fact, that's exactly why I'm suspicious. He studied Eugene carefully. Knights lived by honor and died by honor. Judging by his worn clothes, Eugene appeared to be a wandering knight with no noble house supporting him. Yet he showed no greed for money. It seemed that honor truly came first for him. From what I heard earlier, Kamara thought. Before he could finish that line of reasoning, Eugene spoke again. You are not in a hurry, Eugene said quietly. You are. Kamara's eyes sharpened. His brother had already brought Sir Galfredic and was clearly moving toward the successor position. If Bertel opened the dungeon first, public opinion would shift entirely in his favor. Kamara suddenly laughed. No, he said. I am not like typical knights whose brains are nothing but muscle. He stood and extended his hand. Very well, Sir Eugene. I look forward to working with you. Eugene remembered Partik's earlier advice. The offer he had made was exactly what Partik had suggested a reasonable knight would demand. It had worked. He clasped Kamara's hand. In another room, Bertel was speaking with Galfredic. His expression was sour. Kamara says another wandering knight is joining the subjugation, Bertel said irritably. A dungeon is not child's play. At that moment the doors opened. Eugene entered, with Partik and his mercenary group behind him. Bertel's eyes widened in surprise, then he laughed mockingly. Kamara, he said, you cannot accept someone whose origins and skills are both unknown. Kamara responded calmly, Sir Eugene's skills are proven. He eliminated a group of bandits with nothing but a short sword. Before another word could be spoken, a dagger suddenly flew toward Eugene. Without changing his expression, Eugene casually deflected it aside. The dagger clattered to the floor. Sir Galfredic laughed loudly and stepped forward. My apologies for my rudeness at our first meeting, he said. But judging by your unscarred skin and lack of sunburn, you seem to have grown up quite sheltered. He rested his hand on the hilt of his sword. So, young master, would you allow me to see your skills? The room buzzed with excitement. A duel was inevitable. Servants, mercenaries and guards gathered to watch. Most whispered confidently that Sir Galfredic would win regardless of his opponent. Some even felt sorry for Eugene. Galfredic raised his sword properly, taking a formal knight's stance. Eugene simply tilted his head and mirrored the posture without emotion. The duel began. Steel clashed against steel. Galfredic grinned. Come at me. Eugene answered with relentless swings of his sword. Again and again their blades collided, the sharp echoes ringing through the hall. To Partik's mercenaries, it looked as if Galfredic was being steadily pushed back. But Partik shook his head. Push back? No, he murmured. He's sizing him up. Indeed, Galfredic was deliberately giving ground, analyzing Eugene with every exchange. His thoughts sharpened as their swords met. His fundamentals are better than expected. No obvious habits to exploit. I can't grasp his style at all. He's not polished like a formally trained noble swordsman, but he fights like someone who survived in the wild. Suddenly Galfredic parried hard, locking their blades. With a wide grin he leaned closer. You being a knight, that's a lie, isn't it? Galfredic burst into laughter. Your swordsmanship is undefined, he declared loudly. Your stance is sloppy. You've never been properly trained. You're relying entirely on physical ability. Eugene's expression did not change. You talk too much, he replied, and their blades clashed again. Galfredic grinned. Defeat me and I'll shut my mouth. This time he shifted from analysis to offense. His counterattacks came like a storm. Each strike was heavier, sharper, more precise. Eugene tried to parry, but the force behind Galfredic's swing sent him flying backward. The hall gasped. Bertel smiled. Did he pass out from that? Dust settled. Eugene was still standing. He rolled his shoulder once and looked up calmly. Who passed out? He asked coldly. The crowd stirred. They clashed again. But this time something had changed. Eugene was adapting. Each exchange sharpened him. He was learning, absorbing Galfredic's swordsmanship in real time. Steel screamed against steel. And then Eugene's sword shattered. A collective gasp echoed through the hall. Now there were no blades between them. They stepped forward simultaneously. Fists met forearms. Elbows crashed. Shoulders collided. Hand to hand. Galfredic was larger, broader, built like a fortress. Yet Eugene's body held terrifying strength. His raw power was overwhelming. Still, Galfredik had experience. He twisted his hips, shifted his footing, and broke Eugene's stance. I have the edge, Galfredik thought. He drew back his fist. But at the very instant he struck, Eugene rotated his arm in a smooth circular motion, redirecting the force. A counter. Cling. Precise. His fist shot forward and connected directly with Galfredik's face. The impact thundered through the hall. Galfredik flew backward, crashing into the castle wall. Stone shattered. He broke through the wall entirely and disappeared in a cloud of debris. Silence. Then. The winner, the referee declared in disbelief, is Knight Jan Eugene. The hall exploded with cheers. Even the mercenaries roared in excitement. No one realized how insane that final exchange truly was. Moments later, Galfredik staggered back through the broken wall, huffing, dust-covered but conscious. He raised Eugene's hand high. Applause, he shouted. For tonight's winner, Jan Eugene. The crowd cheered again. But behind Bertel twins' eyes burned with humiliation and fury. Later that evening, Eugene was seated in a lavish chamber. The table before him overflowed with rich meats, fresh bread, fruits, and wine. The butler bowed. Orders from Master Kamara. You are to eat well and rest properly before the dungeon opens. Servants hovered around him, speaking politely. Is everything to your liking, Sir Eugene? Do you require anything else? Varia stifled a laugh. You can't exactly tell them a vampire doesn't need food, she whispered. I wonder if his lordship will get a stomachache from all this. Eugene calmly set down his utensils. I appreciate your kindness, he told the servants evenly. But from now on I will take care of my own meals. You are all dismissed. The butler hesitated. Sir, Master Kamara instructed. Eugene's voice turned cold. Tell Lord Kamara this, I prefer to be alone. The servants bowed quickly and withdrew. From that day forward, the way people looked at him changed completely. When Eugene walked through the castle halls, conversations stopped. Heads bowed respectfully. Later, Kamara approached him. Did you sleep well? He asked casually, though his tone carried clear regard. Others greeted him with deep politeness. Even Galfredik approached with a wide grin. My friend and comrade in arms, Sir Jan Eugene, he declared loudly, almost clinging to him. Eugene studied him silently. He doesn't care whether I'm truly a knight or not. One by one, those who had doubted him began to drop their suspicions. It was the result he had wanted. Yet the constant attention, the swarming presence of people, was something he still could not grow accustomed to even after several days. As they were speaking in the courtyard, a familiar figure approached. Felix. His armor was battered. His face bruised. Yet he wore his usual easy smile. Sir Eugene, Felix said warmly, have you been well all this time?